Hi guys, this thing is so barbaric. That happened in KZN News at the pharmacy of this 27-year-old lady. Guys. Obo, if I can't have you, no one will. You know those type of things. Ngakudampa kudala ngoDecember ngoba vele you are in narcissist, you are crazy. And then the next thing, kade uthumela abantu ukuthi bangibulale. You even went to my other pharmacy in Perea in Durban. Now sengizamela enye pharmacy, and the sister was actually explaining ukuthi Usiska Nomzila, the one who passed on, was shot by people with Odo. But the sisters are just like, you know what? It's the ex-boyfriend. The narcissist. Akekho omunye. Uma narcissist kanjalo phela, mayisehlulekile. And unemali, the fact that he is a doctor. You understand? And bese bemtshela ukuthi angisakufuni unenhlukumezo. I'm done with you. What you took it to yourself with lalela ngiyiphethe imali uzohamba lo. This is barbaric in another level I've never seen. How this this child, because she is much younger than me. I'm like umntana abantu as of 27 ezama impilo. Only in pharmacy 27 is not some child's play or some joke. But she was even spending a lot of money which didn't make business sense. She was spending a lot of money on security only. Naleyo security bayadubulile and the cashier, they are gone with her. The cashier also passed on the spot, was unalived on the spot. Nayo usisters angazi how many bullets. She was packing the shelves of a new pharmacy to be opened. And basic Zobam security succumbed to his injuries in hospital. Imagine, guys. Just imagine the pain. Uzama impilo. Nangumuntu. Ubusy nawe. And basushilo usisters ukuthi mangihamba emhlabeni nazi ukuthi it's him. Ngithi akaboshwe lo futhi I haven't had any arrests around him. He must be arrested lo. And there's a chance ukuthi even the people who did it we won't find them. But yena siyazi ukuthi what is he capable of. Ngoba bathi washo wathi mina I will unalive you. I'm not playing with you. I will unalive you. Esho kuNomzila. uNomzila spoke because the thing guys anikhulumi fanele nisho ukuthi umuntu ngiyangenza izinto angifuni ukusho igama le English ave behlupha wena ku YouTube awubazi uyangihlukumeza umuntu in closed doors. So bathi uNomzila besho azaza zamdampe nje umdampela zona lezi. Hi guys, it's a lot for this family. It was actually reported the reason why Nomzila went to KwaNyuswa in the Bundus there, Lalini, or should I say Mafam, is because he wanted to help people get medication instead of going to a mall. She would have gone to Hillcrest, which is not far, inside a mall, and have a pharmacy there. But he was just like, no, it's a lot for people at times. And if you've noticed, most people, after those COVID scare and all of that, they don't want to leave their houses abandoned. They want to be right next to where they stay so that they can get whatever they want. So hence, Mama Pakistan, my friend, have those shops that they have there. You know, so that's the reason why she was just like, to open my pharmacy so that people who mama or go, you know, children and people who are getting medication, they can get it there, which is closer to them. And then you pew ingane yabantu ingenzanga next, you know. Justice must just be served for her, guys. Guys, thank you so much for always supporting this channel yami encane kuningi ya eMzansi. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Intanda over.
this particular point, it seems as if the suspects are still at large, and the police have now confirmed that the motive at this particular point remains unclear. But the family does seem to have their own suspicions in terms of who could possibly be responsible for the attack that took place on Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to bring in the Madinane sisters. I'm going to start off with you, Liat. Thank you very much for your time. And I'll just start off by saying my sincerest condolences to you and your family during this difficult time. I think let's start off by speaking about Tuesday afternoon. What transpired?
Well, on Tuesday, I was at work. I'm currently living in Johannesburg. Both my sister and I are living in Johannesburg, and our baby sister resided here in Durban. She gave me a call and told me around 1 o'clock that there had been a shooting, and she couldn't reach our baby sister. I immediately requested an Uber and drove right straight to the airport. In the Uber, I was booking my flight, and upon arrival, I took a flight to Durban. When I landed here, a friend of mine picked me up from the airport, and we drove directly to the scene, where we were informed as I was driving there that my sister had passed away. She had been shot and she had died at the scene.
Let's talk about the scene. Were you able to perhaps make your way there, and what did you discover when you arrived there? I'm not sure if you can share that information with us.
I eventually did go to the scene, but from the airport, the phone call then led to me making my way to the morgue because she had been transported at the time. After that, I did go to the scene, and I did get to see everything that was there. I mean, her body had been removed, but I got to the scene and there were bullets everywhere. There were bullets, like over 10 bullet holes in the cupboards, between the counters. There was blood across the medication, and it looked like the people that went into that pharmacy were there to kill my sister and her employees.
And let's talk about the belief that the family has. Do you believe that she was targeted, and if yes, why?
It truly breaks my heart because my sister has been experiencing a lot of threats for the past couple of months from a previous partner that she was in a relationship with. She ended the relationship last year, but the threats kept coming from the partner, from the partner's brother. She was being threatened. She had went to the police. She had hired private security. And for me, as it stands right now, because in the pharmacy, not a single painkiller, Panadol, or money was taken. Her handbag was not taken. Only her work phone and her work laptop was taken, and her life.
I want to, before I move on to Alungile, I want to just talk about what the police have been able to share with the family. I'm not sure, once again, if you're able to go into that.
The police are working quite hard. They're involving us quite a lot, but we are grieving our sister, and we need the police to do more. We're finding ourselves being investigators ourselves. We need the police to be more in charge. But from what we've heard and all the engagements that we've been having with them, they are working on this case. We're not really sure yet of the details. Yeah, we don't know, actually.
And just lastly, I understand that your sister was in court with the ex-boyfriend that you're mentioning, and it seems as if there was a prior incident where, once again, it seems as if she was ambushed in her other pharmacy.
Yeah, there were instances where my sister was threatened. There were instances in her old pharmacy where people had walked in and intimidated her, hence the security, hence going to the police, hence the cases that were opened. That is what happened, and we did a lot as a family. There were a lot of efforts that we did. There's a lot of efforts I did. But we still find ourselves where we find ourselves today. We really do feel that we have been failed to a certain extent, because even in the journey of her getting her protection order, she was being really chased from pillar to post. When she was screaming for help, I feel that the system failed her until the very end.
Let me just move on, Stephen, to Alungile. I understand, of course, that you had quite a strong bond with your sister. And before I draw to a close, I want to talk about whether your sister had actually informed you of perhaps any intimidation. And I ask you this because, once again, you guys did have a strong bond. Any communication, maybe just a few days before she passed?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Take your time. It's okay. I understand it's a very difficult situation. I want to understand, maybe let's start off by talking about the kind of person that she was. Talk to me about your sister.
Oh, she was lovely. She was very kind. She'd call me every day. Even before it happened, we spoke in the morning. I was at work. She's like, "Samsebenzeni?" I'm like, "Yeah, Funan." She's like, "Funa ukuhleka nawe." And then, yeah, she was telling me because she was buying a new car. She was excited about getting her M2. She was a lovely person. She just wanted to help everyone.
And before we speak about that help, I understand that she had recently changed her car once again because she feared for her life.
Yeah, she did. She did. She had changed her car. She was using a different car for a couple of days. And she got another courtesy car from BMW that she was using for a couple of days. And then when she had confirmed that she wants to get the M2, that's when she got back her car. So she had only got back her car for like 2 days when this happened.
And lastly, we know that she had opened her second pharmacy. Maybe just to speak to us about that assistance that your sister wanted to give, not only to the community where she had her old pharmacy, I believe it was in Berea, but also the community of KwaNyuswa.
Yeah. She was, as I said earlier, she was all about the helping. Because I remember the pharmacy wasn't opened yet. Because they were at the shop, because they were just doing stock taking, putting the medication. She was planning an open day, which is going to be month end. So she was more on I want all people to come, free BP test. We want to give them free things. We want to help them before opening. So the reason that she chose KwaNyuswa was because she's like, it's far. Going to Hillcrest is going to be far for certain old people getting their HIV medication, their BP medication. So she wanted to get a pharmacy that's going to be close by for them.
If you could speak to police now, what justice would you say you're calling for lastly?
Can they please not fail us? Can they please not fail my sister?
I'll leave that conversation there. A very difficult conversation here, Stephen, as you can hear. The family is very emotional at this particular point. Of course, this is very fresh. The ambush happened on Tuesday afternoon, and as you can hear from that conversation, she was getting ready to open her second pharmacy. The KZN police have confirmed that there's 3 cases of murder at this particular point that have been opened, but also stating that the suspects are still at large and the motive remains unclear.